next thing. وَحُبَّ زِيَارَتِهِ. So these two things Allah has placed in your heart. The love of Hussein and the love of his ziyarah. So now this is in your heart. You cry for Hussein, you're a mu'min. Yes. Haramullah is in your heart. And the important point is here that Imam al-Sadiq then says, فَلَا قَلْبُ الْمُؤْمِنِ حَرَمُ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَسْكُنْ فِيهِ بِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ. Do not allow anybody else to live in this heart apart from Allah. Then we have to look at who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. How do we know who Allah? How can we even know the qualities of Allah? How do we relate to Allah? Through the hujjat of Allah. We have to look at the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Then we have to look at the life of Rasulullah in particular. And this is the thing as well. We have to place Salawat Muhammad. We have to then look at the creation of Rasulullah. My brothers and sisters, place a lot of importance on Rasulullah. For if it wasn't for Rasulullah, none of this would be here. Amir al-Mu'mineen. And this is the ayah that I read at the beginning of my and this is what I said. Last night you saw, right? Imam al-Sadiq says, he said, in every verse of the Quran, there is 70 apparent meanings. What does this mean? That means it's apparent. When you read it, a meaning comes to your head. And Imam al-Sadiq says 70. And there are 70 hidden meanings. You see, all of this will come to light when Imam al-Sadiq comes. Because he has all the ilm. He will place his hand on your head, and all the ilm will come in your head. The same as Rasulullah did with Amir al-Mu'mineen. He transferred all of his ilm to Amir al-Mu'mineen. Very simply. So we don't understand his ayahs. Like I said last night, honestly, I don't think you've ever seen anybody relate that ayah to the Kaaba, to the heart of the human being. See, this is the Quran, the beauty of the Quran. This ayah, this verses of Surah Rahman is one of these. We read this a lot, especially when someone knows Surah Rahman is the one everyone's right there. But you will see. Look at these verses. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman allama al-Quran khalaqa al-insan. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Maybe the verses are put around the wrong way, but no. We know that Amir al-Mu'mineen collected the Quran and he put all these verses. Why does it make sense? Because the verses are saying this. Ar-Rahman, the merciful, taught the Quran, then he created the human being. How can that be? First you have to create the human, then teach it the Quran. Yes? So they asked Imam Reza, they said, how does these verses add up? He said, Allah created Rasulullah with the Quran. So Rasulullah's existence is made from the Quran. So Allah al-Quran. Then Imam Reza says, Rasulullah created Amir al-Mu'mineen. Khalaq al-insan. He said, doesn't say khalaqahum al-insan. Everybody was created. No, khalaq, one person. Khalaq al-insan. From the existence of Rasulullah, which is the Quran. And again we said last night, Nazalna ala qalbik. So the heart, Allah created was the heart of the Prophet. Rasulullah says, Allah, the first thing He created was my life. And from my life He created life of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So these are all hadiths tie up with the verses of the Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the existence of Rasulullah with the Quran. With the Quran. Rasulullah, then his job was what? To create insan. Not that Rasulullah was a creator, no. Rasulullah's job as a teacher. We see Allah uses the word allama al-Quran. The teacher. Yes? So with these teachings of the Quran, Rasulullah created Amir al-Mu'mineen, not in the physical sense. but in the teachings. And Rasulullah says this in a hadith that on the day of judgment, everybody will lean on something as their a'mal. I will lean on Ali ibn Abi Talib. I will say to Allah, all that I did in my life, look at Ali, what I created, this is my a'mal. Yes. خلق الإنسان. When Rasulullah created the teachings of Amir al-Mu'mineen to Amir al-Mu'mineen, this is why Allah said, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. We have arranged the human being, the insan, in the best shape possible. When Amir al-Mu'mineen's existence was created, Allah then says, Tabarak Allah, Ahsan al-Khaliqeen. I am the best of creators. Look what I created. With the hands of Rasulullah, the teachings of Rasulullah, the ilm of Rasulullah. Right? Then the ayah goes on to this. مَرَجَ الْبَحْرَيْنِ يَلْتَقِيَانِ. Then we married two seas together. Married Amir al-Mu'mineen to Hazrat Zahra Salamullah. From this marriage, what happens? يَخْرُجُ مِنْهُمَا لَوْنٌ وَمَرْجَانٌ. Hassan and Hussein came out of this marriage. فَبَأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا. So which ones of the signs and eyes of Allah are you going to lie about? Now, I was going to leave this for the summary of the last night, but I'm going to do it inshallah if I'm alive, but also the last night. So, look at the chain. Look at the chain. Rasulullah created from Quran. His whole existence is the Quran, right? Because his heart, the heart is the center of the human body. Without the heart, we're dead, aren't we? Right? Without the heart, we are dead. So, the heart of Rasulullah is the Quran. From this heart, the teachings comes Amir al-Mu'mineen, created Amir al-Mu'mineen, the creation of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the existence of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen marries Hazrat Zahra alayhi salam. She then completes Amir al-Mu'mineen. Without Hazrat Zahra, Amir al-Mu'mineen is not complete. From this marriage, Hassan and Hussein come out. Your heart is the haram of Hussein as well. Haram of Allah, haram of Hussein. And this is amazing. Imam Salih says, don't allow anyone else to live in your heart. Yet Imam Salih says that alongside Allah in the qulub of mu'mineen is also the house of Hussein. See? So this means what? This means there is no difference between Allah and Hussein in terms of values on this earth. Right? Now look at your heart. So this heart of yours has become connected to, now this is the chain, yeah? Connected to what? Connected to Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen, Hazrat Zahra alayhi salam, Rasulullah, Quran to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah then says, Quran is Hablullah al-Mateen. It is the rope of Allah. وَأَتَسَمُوا بِحَبْلِ. Hold on to this one. Wherever Quran goes on the day of judgment, this chain will follow it, this rope will follow it. So if you stay connected to Imam Hussein, you are holding on to this rope. So wherever Quran goes on the day of judgment, you will follow it as well. So this is your value. When they say to us, you're created from monkeys and fish and the Darwin theory, this is why they become like this. Because this is what they think. Yes? Yeah. But this is your value. This is where you'll come from. This is where your khilqat is. This is what your creation is. This heart of yours. Your maqam then becomes higher than the Kaaba. Hurmatul mu'min afzal min al-Kaaba. Then we look at the heart of the mu'min. One day Amir al-Mu'mineen and Rasulullah were walking through the streets of Medina. It was after Zuhr prayers, very hot. Those of you who meet Saudi will know it. Nobody comes out. 50 degrees Celsius, and in those days there were no shades, no? Really hot. Rasulullah was walking with Amir al-Mu'mineen. As they were walking, 4 laborers, 4 workers were holding a coffin, a piece of wood, there was a body on it, and they walked past Rasulullah. Rasulullah turned around and looked at the body. He then said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, do you want to go and bury this body? Amir al-Mu'mineen said, this is a great sawab, let's go and do it. So they went. Amir al-Mu'mineen held one side of the coffin. Rasulullah held the other side of the coffin. They went to Jannatul Baqi. Rasulullah said to those laborers, to those workers, and this is the thing as well, because they were laborers and workers, there was no other following with them. It shows that this person was not somebody important. He was not, he had no family, nothing. So Rasulullah said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, you put the body down, I will dig the grave myself. In what? In 50 degrees heat. In Jannatul Baqi. I will dig the grave with my own hand. So Rasulullah dug the grave. He said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, you place the body. But they looked at the body, he didn't have a proper kafan. That's right, he was a poor person. So Rasulullah said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, go back to my house, get me another shirt. Another one. So Amir al-Mu'mineen went. He said, Ya Ali, hold my cloak, my Abba, let me take off the shirt I am wearing now. Let's put it on this body. So they buried this body in the shirt of Rasulullah. And I said to you guys last night and the night before, keep something separate for Imam Hussein in your life. You see, honestly, this is one thing I will say to you guys, and I know when it comes to money, money is something that's, believe me, we are all happy to give life for Imam Hussein. But if we say give money for Imam Hussein, this is where we all lose them. You'll run away. And this is the problem. It's a huge problem actually. But what we say is make Imam Hussein a partner in your life. So give a percentage of your wages. Doesn't have to be much. 1% of your entire wage. Put it aside for Imam Hussein. This means Imam Hussein then becomes a partner in your life. And what's a better partner to have in your life than Imam Hussein? Yes. Maybe we'll talk about money and things like that. So, Rasulullah put his shirt on this body. Then he said to Ali, who's going to do namaz, me or you? Ya Rasulullah, you're afsal. Your namaz is like no other namaz on this world. So Rasulullah stood. Amir al-Mu'mineen stood next to him. Rasulullah prayed the namaz of Mayyit, and you know that Allah forgiveness and there's wajib. Allah, 2 people like this are praying for this body. Then Rasulullah went in the grave himself. He then asked Amir al-Mu'mineen to pass him the body. He put it, he did the talqeen, he did all it. Amir al-Mu'mineen then helped Rasulullah cover the grave. When they finished, they came back. Rasulullah said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, do you know what they asked me who this guy was? He said, Rasulullah, I never doubt anything you do. I don't question anything you do. No. But if you insist, tell me who he was. Was he an awliya of Allah? You see now, my brothers and sisters, time is very short and I'd like to expand on these things, but look at the story of Khizr and Musa in the Quran. Musa and Khizr did a similar thing. They went and built a wall in the heat and laborers, and Musa said, why are you building the wall? It's hot. And you know this. Then he started questioning everything. Yet look at Amir al-Mu'mineen. He says, I do not question anything you do, Ya Rasulullah. Look at the Shia Ali was. Ali was a Shia of Nabi. We don't question anything, Ya Rasulullah. You say to me, jump in the grave, I'll jump in the grave. You tell me, jump in the fire, I'll jump in the fire. Are we the Shia of Muhammad like this? So he said to Rasulullah, who was this then? Was he like Khizr? Because Khizr was unknown as well. He was a prophet, he was unknown. Was this guy? Because from what it appears, the appearance is that he was a very poor person. 4 laborers probably found him on the street somewhere, and they said, let's go and bury this bichara person. Who was he? He said, Ali. This person might be poor in appearance, but this guy has a very high maqam. Ya Rasulullah, what is his maqam? He says, this guy was a Shia of yours. When the body went past, I looked into his heart. I saw that he had the love of you, Ya Ali. Are you now scared of dying? This is how they treated the Shias. How would they treat us? Allah will show you his guidance. تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Allah says in the Quran, you be a Shia of Amir al-Mu'min, a true Shia of Amir al-Mu'min, have the hope of Ali, Amina min Azrafi. Other Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and A'udhu Billah is lying. All of this is a falsity, all of this is lies. No. This is my yaqeen and certainty. You stay a Shia of Hussein, you cry for Imam Hussein. And like I said, tomorrow I'm going to deflate you slightly, but be a Shia of Hussein, then I promise you they will come. I promise you this. They will come. The first person, and I have witnessed this myself on a few occasions, that the first thing you see, the first person you see as soon as your eyes are closed from this world is the face of Amir al-Mu'min. And I have seen this. I knew someone who was on the deathbed, they were very close to death, he suddenly made a thing that made me proper, make me say, I want to sit down. So you can't sit up, you die. I want to sit down. Why? Because Ali is coming. Man yamut yani. This is what he said. Whoever dies will see. Whoever, Shia, Kafir, Muslim, non-Muslim, whoever dies will see Ali ibn Abi Talib. If that is the case, we should look forward to death, to see the face of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Inshallah. There was a girl who lived in Damascus, and she became very ill at the age of 3 or 4. She developed an illness that meant she was slowly losing her eyesight. Her father was quite a wealthy man. He took her to all the doctors in Damascus. Wherever they went, there was no cure for this girl. So they heard that Medina is very, people in there, the doctors there are very knowledgeable. Let's take this daughter to Medina and let's see the doctors there can find a cure for her. So they entered the city of Medina, and the first person they saw was Salman al-Farsi. And they stopped him and they said, excuse me, we have come from Damascus, we don't know anybody here, and are you from this city? He goes, yes, I'm from Medina. Do you know anybody anywhere that is a good doctor? He goes, yes, best doctor. Where is that? Whose house? Where is it? The house of Ali ibn Abi Talib. So he said to Salman al-Farsi, can you come with me and show me the ways of this? So they went, they knocked on the door, Amir al-Mu'min opened the door. What is it? Ya Ali, Salman said to him, Ya Ali, these people have come from Damascus, his daughter is very ill. We want to know if there is a cure for his daughter. Imam Hussein said to Tabib, the doctor is in the house. Ya Aba Abdullah, come here. Imam Hussein then was about 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old. He came to the door, what is it, father? He said to Hussein, Baba, this girl is very sick. Maybe you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will cure this girl. So Imam Hussein looked up to the sky and he said, Ya Allah, Ahmed Hussein, Ishfa hadhihi al-marizan. Imam Hussein's prayer was not finished. And this is one thing, my brothers and sisters, Allah will never reject the prayer of Hussein. At all. At all. So as soon as before the prayer was finished, the girl opened her eyes. The first thing she saw was the face of Hussein. Alhamdulillah, Amir al-Mu'min said, your daughter is now cured, take her, go. The daughter said, I have now found Hussein, you're telling me to go? Where do I go? Where do I go? May Allah never bring that day they say to us, go for his sake. Where do we go? So Amir al-Mu'min said, what do you want to do? The father said, I want this daughter to stay with you. I want her to be the Kaniz of Zainab. Amir al-Mu'min said, there's no problem. She can stay. However, when she reaches the age of puberty, about 9 or 13, you come and take her away from here. No problem. She stayed. She was a similar age to Hazrat Zainab. She stayed. And they grew up together, they were like good friends, they grew up together. When it came to the time, about the age of 11 or 12, her father came and took her to Damascus. They didn't see each other again. Until one day, these hungry children in the Kharaba Sham smelt this food, the smell of food coming to the Kharaba. They saw these soldiers bringing in the food, the pots of food, and these children are so hungry. They started to give the food out amongst the children. Hazrat Zainab said to the children, put the food back. Why, Auntie Zainab? Sadaqah is haram for Ala Muhammad. We don't take charity. A lady came out and she said to one of the children, why are you putting the food back? They said, because our auntie said that this food is charity, it is haram for Ala Muhammad. He said, why Ala Muhammad? You are not Ala Muhammad, you are foreigners. You are people who have no religion. You have been held here as captives. She said to this child, go and bring your elder. I want to speak to her. So the children pointed to Lady Zainab and said, this is our elder. This woman came down and she sat in front of Zainab and she said, Lady Zainab, yes, please accept this food. This food is not charity. She said, woman, what is this food for? She goes, when I was a young child, I was sick. My father took me to Medina, to the house of Ali ibn Abi Talib. There was a boy there, his name was Hussein. There was a girl there, her name was Zainab. Hussein cured me. My father made a vow, made a nazar, made a manna that every year for the salamati of Hussein and Zainab, he will give food every year. To whom he will give the food? To whoever is a captive in a foreign land. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. May Allah never bring a day that Aziz becomes Zalil. She said, she asked Lady Zainab, where are you from? Because this girl said, you are Ala Muhammad. Hazrat Zainab said, we are from Medina, from Nabi. You are from Medina? Yes, I'm from Medina. If you are from Medina, do you know the house of Ali? Yes, I know the house of Ali. Tell me something. When did you come from Medina? We came about a year ago. Oh lady Zainab, oh lady, do you know any news? Do you have any news of my lady Zainab? It has been so many years since I have not seen her. I miss her terribly. Do you have any news of her? She said, oh Umm Hamida, I am Zainab. What happened to Lady Zainab in these 40 days? That nobody recognized her. Allahu Akbar. This lady was in doubt. She looked at Lady Zainab as if she didn't believe Hazrat Zainab. She said, if you are Zainab, then I know Zainab does not go anywhere without Hussein. Where is Hussein? He said, do you see that head that Yazid is hitting with the stick? It is that power. That is the head of Hussein. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Zainab said, take this food. We do not want this food. And Umm Hamida, from next year you do not have to carry on with this nazar, with this vow. Because Hussein has been killed. His head is on the spear. يا رب الحسين حق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة السلام